Welcome back to Good Sports for You, where we are talking about good sports for you. And as you know, it is a new year, which means new beginnings and fresh faces. So to commemorate that, I decided to rank every single team's youngest player. Now, this is a whole wide variety of players, I will say that. And so for the rankings today, I have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and F tier, as always. Now, this isn't just how they've performed in MLB. This also has to do with prospect pedigree, how much potential I still think they have. MLB, consistency and production is obviously going to play a major part, but I just wanted to let you know it is not just based on the major league numbers. Up here today, we got Mario Feliciano, Orlando Arcia, Dalton Varsho, and Zach Granite. I decided to find all the bobbleheads of players that we had from the minor leagues and from the college. You know, some of these guys were really highly ranked prospects. Arcia was one of the top prospects. Feliciano was even a top 100 guy. Neither of them really lived up to the hype. Dalton Varsho, on the other hand, wasn't as hyped up, but he has probably been the best player of the whole entire group. Zach Granite, I don't know what he's up to, if I'm being 100% honest. So I got my stats on my left. I got my tier list in front of me. But before we hop into it, I want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it so much. So to start off, we have Mason Fluharty. He's good. He's been decent with the Blue Jays in his limited time. In 55 games, he had a 4.44 ERA. Oh, and before we hop into it, there are parameters that I did set. You had to have at least 50 games played or 50 innings pitched or 130 plate appearances. So you're going to see that some guys who maybe you would expected to be on here, they didn't meet those requirements, but I will make notes of those. So Mason Fluharty, though, he was decent with the Blue Jays, 4.44 ERA in 55 games coming out of relief. He also played in the postseason, which was a big part. But the thing is, he's 24 years old. He's going to be turning 25 during the season. That's not particularly young. He doesn't, honestly, I feel like, have a ton of potential. He's going to be a decent reliever. But I don't think he has the potential to be an all-star even, much less an MVP caliber player. But I think he definitely is going to be a quality MLB player. So for that reason, he's going to be a C tier. Next up, we're going to have Jason Dominguez, nicknamed the Martian. And that is because when he was coming out of international play, he was projected to be one of the best players ever. He had comparisons to Mickey Mantle, Mike Trout, Bo Jackson, which is absurd to place on a kid who was 16 at the time. That's just absolute insanity. And he's been not lived up to the hype really at all. He's been fine. He's got a 103 OPS plus for his career. He's had stints of 3 seasons in the big league, so he still received Rookie of the Year votes this year. But he has a career .7 WAR. It's just not doing it for me. I definitely think he still has potential because he's only turning 23 soon, so he is younger than Mason Fluharty, but I just don't think that he has the potential to be anything much more than an everyday player. Maybe he'll sneak in one all-star appearance in there, but I don't see a lot, so I'm going to be putting him C tier. Next up is Roman Anthony, and Roman Anthony was an extremely highly touted prospect, and he came up and he definitely lived up to the hype. He's put up 3.1 WAR in a limited sample size of 71 games. He was absolutely incredible, finishing third in Rookie of the Year voting this past year with 140 OPS plus. He's going to be an A tier. He definitely has the potential to be an MVP caliber player, but he just hasn't done that yet. We're going to have guys on this list coming up that have been MVP caliber players. So he has the potential to be there, but he just isn't there yet, and I have to go off of the numbers that we have right now. Next up is going to be Junior Caminero. Fantastic season this past year. He finished 9th in MVP voting. He had a 131 OPS plus, so 31% better than league average. 4.4 WAR, so the defense could be a little bit better, but the offense is so good. 45 home runs, all-star, and also he's turning 23 during the season, so he's still very young. I'm going to put him A tier with a Roman Anthony player because the fact of the matter is he's already proven that he is an all-star caliber player. He's not quite an MVP caliber player yet, but he definitely has the potential to get up there. Next up is Jackson Holliday. Jackson Holliday is obviously an interesting case because he was the first overall pick. He was extremely hyped up. He comes from a lineage of baseball with his father being Matt Holliday, who's a fantastic player, but he hasn't quite lived up to the hype so far in the MLB. He started off his career extremely poorly, a terrible stretch to start off. But he's put up 1.1 WAR across 2 seasons. And the first season, again, he only played 60 games. He definitely made improvements. He had a 95 OPS plus this year. He struck out a decent amount. The walks he could obviously get up. On base percentage isn't incredible. And also he's playing second base. So That's a good position where he can definitely grow defensively, where you can kind of hide a weaker bat. But I still really believe in him because he is extremely young. He just turned 22. So for that reason, he's going to be a B tier player for me. I think he's a definite step up above those C tier guys. Now moving on to the AL Central, we have Angel Martinez. He's not been that good. I mean, he was considered a high-end prospect in the Guardians organization. He was like kind of always in their top 10. He was never a top 100 prospect, though. This past season, he put up negative WAR, an OPS of 73, so he was much worse than league average. I just don't think he was a fantastic player. And also, I mean, he's going to be turning 24, so he's a little bit older than some of these guys. He's going to be a D tier for me. We're going to get to guys who are worse. Next up is going to be Colt Keith for the Detroit Tigers. And this is his second season in the big leagues, and he definitely made strides. He had a 107 OPS plus this year, which is up from a 94. He's striking out a little bit less. His on-base percentage is much better. He's walking at a better rate. His home runs are about the same. So, I mean, there's nothing really that you can fault him for. My only thing is he's going to be turning 25 during the season, so he's a little bit on the older end for these players. But, like, he's solid. He's older than Jason Dominguez, but he's a little bit better. He's better than Jackson Holliday, but he is much older. I'm going to be putting him B tier because I definitely think he can become an all-star caliber player, like kind of in that Jackson Holliday realm, but he's just a little bit further along in his progression. Next up is going to be Jack Caglione. Interesting player because in his time in the MLB, I mean, it was a limited sample size, only around 200 at-bats. He was dreadful. Like, he was really, really bad. 49 OPS plus, so about 50% worse than league average. My thing is, I saw him play in the SEC a lot because I worked and went to school at the University of Tennessee. That man is a physical specimen, and I really do believe that he has the talent to do so good, and also he is young. I mean, he's turning 23 soon, which is a little bit on the older end, honestly. I'm debating between C and D because the numbers don't justify C tier, but I really think that he has the potential. And you know what? It's my list. I'm going to be putting him C tier. I really think that he has the potential. Like I said, he has all the physical attributes. His home run power is just like absolutely absurd. I will say never, ever say that he is the college Shohei Ohtani ever again. I mean, I worked a game on replay for SEC Network where he was pitching and they were hyping him up the entire time, and he couldn't make it out of the first inning. Awful. He had no control. Okay, next up, anyway, though, is going to be the Twins with Luke Keeschel. And the exact opposite of Jack Caglione, honestly. He was not as much of a hyped-up prospect at all. He was a second-rounder. He's 23, going to be 24 during the season, but he has played really, really well. In less than 200 at-bats, in less than 50 games, but he meets the plate appearances threshold. He had a 128 OPS plus. He finished 9th in Rookie of the Year, voting only playing in 49 games. 2 WAR. I mean, he was really, really fantastic. I'm between A and B. I'm gonna put him B though because he's not as young as Roman Anthony and he's not as good. I think B is a very fair spot. But I mean, he's just been really, really solid to start off his career. But just because he's gonna be turning 24 in the season, he doesn't have as much potential for me. Next up is going to be Edgar Quero for the Chicago White Sox. He's interesting as well because he's a slightly below average bat. He was a highly rated prospect. I remember hearing about him. Not a top 100 kind of guy though. But I mean, for a guy with a 94 OPS plus as a catcher, you don't really hate that at all. And for a catcher, he's obviously going to be making strides defensively. He's going to be making strides pitch calling and all those things. So for those reasons, I'm going to be putting him B tier because, I mean, he's going to be turning 23 soon, so that's still very young. Next up is going to be Cole Young, my apologies, for the Seattle Mariners. Going to be turning 23 during the season, but he's still 22, so he's still fairly young. 0.5 WAR last season with a 78 OPS plus. He has the potential, but he wasn't... I'm looking at Jack Caglione and maybe I'm just rating him too high on his potential. I'm moving Jack Caglione down to the D tier. He does not have the numbers to justify him being C tier because I'm putting Cole Young C tier and his numbers are just like objectively better. They're basically the same age. And I think I just have rose-colored glasses for Jack Caglione because I saw him like in person and I worked with him and I saw how good he can be. But Cole Young is the focus right now. You know, for a rookie campaign, it's not bad. The hitting obviously isn't where you want it to be. Defensively, he's a really sound player at second base, so I think that you can put some stock into there for sure. He at least has a high floor. But .5 WAR in 77 games, that's not what you want to see, but he definitely has the potential to be a lot more. Next up is going to be Cam Smith. He just got drafted also in 2024, so a very young player. He's going to be turning 23 years old. He put up 1.9 WAR. So this was really, his first season of like professional ball. This was his first season. And he was already in the big leagues. Yeah, his OPS plus was a little bit low at 87, but he's a plus defender in the outfield. He has a decent bat, and the bat is only going to get better. The strikeout rate was obviously high, which is what you expect to see from a rookie. But I really believe in his potential, so I'm going to be putting him B tier. Next up is going to be Alejandro Ozuna. I was reading up on him because honestly I didn't know anything about him. He put up .2 WAR in 63 games, so that's not good. He has a 77 OPS plus. He doesn't hit for any power. But I was reading like his prospect rankings. He was kind of in like that 25 range for Rangers prospects, so not even that good of a prospect. And they were basically like, yeah, he could be a util guy. Honestly, like I see him as like maybe like an Eric Sogard light, where he can just kind of play a little bit everywhere is what they were saying about him. Like he's been playing a lot of outfield in the big leagues. But I think that they were even saying that he can play infield. So maybe not an Eric Sogard, but like somebody who can just like bounce around but doesn't have a bat really. So he's never going to be an all-star. And he's 23. He's going to be turning 24 in October. He's going to be D tier. I just don't think that he has the potential to be much more than like maybe a util guy. Next up is going to be Max Muncy, who's 23, going to be 24 in August. I remember him being a first-round pick. He hasn't really lived up to the hype. He did have decent prospect rankings in the Athletics organization, but a 75 OPS plus just isn't going to get the job done. Now, you may be thinking, okay, well, where's Nick Kurtz? He's not the youngest guy. Also, Luis Morales is technically younger than him, but he had 48.2 innings pitched, so just a little bit short of the threshold. Oh, and with the Tigers, I forgot to note this. It was Colt Keith and not Jackson Jobe, because Jackson Jobe had 49 innings, so just one short of the threshold for me. But Max Muncy, 0 WAR, below average hitter. At like, if he's playing third base, if that's going to be his primary position, which is what it says on Baseball Reference, and where he played the most, you need a plus bat. And I'm afraid that the stars just kind of died for him, and I'm going to be putting him D tier. Next up, we're going to have Christian Moore. I love Christian Moore. He was electric when I went to the University of Tennessee. He's 23, going to be turning 24 in October of this coming year, or of 2026, I should say. The bat wasn't really there this year, which is disappointing because he really rests on his bat. I remember him being a decent defender at second base in college. That hasn't really translated to the MLB level, but he was drafted in 2024, which is just really absurd that he's already in the big leagues. But to put up .1 WAR in 53 games, it's not getting you any higher than a D tier, honestly. Like, I feel like he's a very similar vein of Max Muncy, but I do believe in Christian Moore a little bit more because he definitely had a little bit of a higher prospect pedigree. He had a higher prospect pedigree than all these guys except for Jack Caglione, who's had much, much worse numbers. So actually, I'm going to be putting him C tier, and if you want to call me a Tennessee homer, like, you can do that. That's fine. Next up, not controversially, but he's a controversial player, I guess, is Orion Kerkering. And he's controversial because he had that terrible, terrible error in the playoffs that sent the Dodgers to the next round and bounced the Phillies. But when you look at his numbers, he's been really good for his career. This is his third season in the MLB, or at least his third stint. 2023, that's not a season. He's put up 2.5 WAR in that time, and he's got a 2.79 ERA, 1.55 ERA plus. Like, that's really quality for a guy who's going to be turning 25 in April. I'm going to be putting him B tier because he's been better than Mason Fluharty. It's just like that one error is just like going to come back to haunt him, which is a real bummer. Next up is going to be Luis Angel Acuna, obviously the younger brother of Ronald Acuna Jr. They look very similar. He's not Ronald Acuna Jr., obviously. He's put up 1.1 WAR in 109 games. If he could ever reach a quarter of what Ronald Acuna Jr. is, he'd be absolutely incredible. 82 career OPS plus, a step back from last year, but I don't even know if you could count last year because that was such a small cup of coffee. Yeah, I mean, he's been fine. I know that he was kind of a highly ranked prospect, but I mean, it helps too that he had the Acuna name tied to him, but he was a top 100 guy. I do believe in his potential, though. He's still pretty young. He's going to be turning 24 in March, but I'm going to be putting him C tier. He is a little bit on the older side, with a birthday in March to start off the season. 24 is a little bit older than some of these other players, and he just hasn't quite lived up to the potential that I think a lot of people think that he has. Next up is Yuri Perez. I'm a Yuri Perez defender. I know he didn't have the best year with a 4.25 ERA this past season, but I really, really like him. He was a really highly rated prospect. He finished high in the Rookie of the Year voting. I think that he has a Cy Young caliber ceiling. Honestly, I really do. The numbers don't back me up, but I mean, he's been a plus starting pitcher his entire time. And to be this young, he's only 22, and he's going to be 22 at the start of this next season for the Marlins. To be a plus pitcher for 2 years, and yes, he had some injuries in there and stuff like that, but to be a plus pitcher for 2 years at such a young age as a starter is absolutely incredible. You know what? I'm putting him A tier. I believe in his potential. I mean, he's put up 3.9 WAR in 39 games started. His 162 is 3.4. If you're getting a 3.4 pitcher each season in terms of WAR, you want that every year. And even this year, in 20 games, he put up 1.2 WAR. 20 games of 425 ball, you don't hate at all. You know, he could easily be an all-star. Honestly, like I said, I really think he could be a Cy Young caliber player. I really believe in Yuri Perez. I'm a big fan. Next up is Nacho Alvarez Jr. He's been fine. Again, this was another guy that I didn't really know a lot about. He cracked into the top 100 according to Baseball Prospectus, but he was never in the top 100 prospects according to the MLB. In 58 games, he put up a 77 OPS plus this season. Last year, he was really bad in 8 games, but that's 8 games. What can you really do about that? He's pretty young, though. He's going to be 22 at the start of the season. So for that reason, he doesn't have the prospect pedigree of Jackson Holliday. He hasn't been as good as Colt Keith or these guys all here. So honestly, he's going to be C because I do believe in his potential still. Next up is going to be Brady House. Brady House has not been very good, but he's only 22. He definitely has prospect pedigree on his side. He was a top 100 prospect for a couple years in there, but he performed really poorly. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting him C tier. He doesn't have the prospect pedigree to bump him up to B, but he definitely has the prospect pedigree to keep him in that C tier because he wasn't as bad as like Jack Caglione. Next up is Jackson Chourio. Obviously, I'm a Brewers fan. I love Jackson Chourio. I wish I could put him in S tier. I really do. But he's not S tier. He's going to be A tier. He's been really phenomenal. He's a good outfielder. He's put up 6 WAR in his 2 seasons. 3.8 his first season, 2.2 his next season, where he was dealing with some injuries. He's been a plus bat every single time. He's a career 115 OPS plus. He got MVP votes in 2024. He finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. He's had 21 home runs each year in a row. He's had 20 plus stolen bases each year in a row. I'd love for him to walk more and get the on-base percentage up. And also he hits for a good average. He's a 272 average hitter. So I love Jackson Chourio. I don't think there's a lot else to say. I think he's an A tier because I do think that he has MVP caliber potential for sure. Next up is Pete Crow Armstrong. Here's the thing. Pete Crow Armstrong doesn't have MVP caliber talent. He already is an MVP caliber player. Yes, he did fall off towards the end of the season, but his defense is so good. And he hit like decent. He had a 118 OPS plus. And like I said, he did fall off, but he had 31 home runs, 35 stolen bases. He won a Gold Glove with a 118 OPS plus. He's a really, really good player, which pains me to admit because I am a PCA hater, if I'm being 100% honest, but he deserves to be in that S tier. Next up is going to be Elly De La Cruz. He's interesting as well. 9.5 WAR for his career is absolutely phenomenal. 5.2 WAR in 2024, but he took a step back with 3.6. He strikes out a lot. We know this, obviously. His OPS plus was down this year. He finished 8th in MVP in 2024, 23rd in MVP this season. I'm debating between S and A. He has been an MVP like caliber. That 8th in there. I feel like that doesn't hold the 9th of PCA this past season. Elly is a tough one. I'm going to be putting him A tier. Yeah, I'm going to be putting him A tier just because, he's about to turn 24. So he's older than Jackson Churio, he's older than Roman Anthony, he's older than Yuri Perez. Is he older than Junior Caminero? Yes, he's much older than Junior Caminero. And he's been really good, but PCA was better last year. He was just objectively better. Yeah. I believe in my ranking right there. He is going to be in the A tier, not in the S tier. Next up is going to be Jordan Walker, and Jordan Walker, unfortunately, is going to be our first F tier. He's only 23 years old, so like he still has the potential to get better, but he hasn't shown it at all. His bat has only gotten worse. His first season, he had a 113 OPS plus, which was great. Season after, he had 72, and he only played 51 games. Season after, he had 66 OPS plus, so much, much worse than league average. And defensively, he's atrocious. I mean, he's making progress on the defensive side of the ball, but I don't think that even if his defense improves slightly, that it's going to justify him going up at all. And the thing is, he was a really highly rated prospect. He was top 5, basically consensus before he cracked into the big leagues. But he just has not lived up to it at all. I mean, he has a negative 2.7 WAR. Oh, man, it's just tough. And he's going to be turning 24 early in the next season. But unfortunately, he is going to be F tier. Next up is Paul Skeens. He's going to be S tier. He's beyond Pete Crow Armstrong. I don't think I need to explain anything about him. He's only 23 years old. He's going to be 23 at the start of this next season. He won a Cy Young. He's a 2-time All-Star. He finished 6th in MVP this past season. He won Rookie of the Year. Arguably the best pitcher in the game, him and Tarek Skubal, and it's not even close between like them two and anyone else, so he's an easy S tier. Next up is going to be Dalton Rushing. So we're cracking into the NL West, and this is the guy for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And yes, he did have some prospect pedigree. He was like a top 50 guy pretty much across the board. I mean, .2 WAR in 53 games just doesn't justify a lot for me. But because he had that prospect pedigree, he's turning 25 though, which is pretty old. And if he's a catcher, I couldn't see him like going in past Will Smith. So for that reason, I'm going to be putting him C tier. Next up is Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill is an absolutely phenomenal player. He did deal with injuries this past season. He finished second in the Rookie of the Year last year. He dealt with some injuries, and he definitely just took a step back everywhere, a little bit of a sophomore slump. I kind of group him with Elly De La Cruz, honestly, because, I mean, he's going to be turning 23 at the beginning of the season, so, I mean, he's still pretty young, but he took a step back. He didn't have the season that he did the season before, so I don't think that he has as much of the potential to become an MVP caliber player, honestly. I mean, he definitely does have the potential to be an MVP caliber player, but he just didn't show it at all last year. If I was ranking off of last season, he would have easily been an S tier, but unfortunately, he just wasn't this time around. Next up, we're going to have Luis Matos, and this is going to be for the San Francisco Giants, and I mean, he's just not been very good. This is his 3rd time in the big leagues. He's going to be turning 24 soon. And with his 3 cups of coffees in the big leagues, he just hasn't done anything meaningful. He's a below average bat. He's not a fantastic defender. He can't really do a whole lot. He doesn't really have pop. He doesn't really steal bases. He's going to be a D tier for me just because, I mean, he's not as bad as Jordan Walker, if I'm being 100% honest. Next up is Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll is going to be an S tier caliber player. I mean, he finished 6th in Cy Young this past season. He got a Silver Slugger award. He's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I don't think I have a lot to say that hasn't been said already. He's had 30-plus stolen bases in every single one of his full seasons. He's had 20-plus home runs every single one of his full seasons. He's consistently a well above league average bat with a 140 OPS plus this past season. And also to boot, he's a decent defender in the outfield. He finished 6th in MVP, won the Silver Slugger. And I mean, even that, like, arguably this is his best season, but 2023 was absolutely phenomenal. 133 OPS plus and the Rookie of the Year. And also, he's led the National League in triples for the past 3 years. He's an easy S tier for me. I mean, just because he's proven it compared to, like, Jackson Merrill or an Elly De La Cruz. He is a little bit older, though, at 25. And finally, we have Yanquiel Fernandez for the Colorado Rockies. He did have a little bit of prospect hype here. He was a top 100 caliber prospect, but he hasn't been very good, and I think that a little bit has to do with playing in Coors. You know, he has 52 games played. That's how he was able to qualify. He's still very young, though. He just turned 23 at the beginning of the new year, so he still has a lot of potential. But a 62 OPS plus is hard to look past. But I think that he has a lot of potential still, but he's been pretty poor. I'm going to put him in that D tier along with some of those other guys there. So, to wrap it all up, in the S tier, we have Paul Skeens, Pete Armstrong, and Corbin Carroll. These are the MVP caliber players of last season. And below that, we have Roman Anthony, Junior Caminero, Yuri Perez, Jackson Churio, Ellie De La Cruz, and Jackson Merrill. These are guys that I think could have MVP caliber aspirations, but just this past season hasn't backed it up all the way. In B tier, we have Jackson Holliday, Colt Keith, we have Luke Keschel at 23 years old, we have Edgar Quero, we have Cam Smith, and we have Orion Kerkering. These are guys that either have had pretty solid careers so far, or they haven't had solid careers, but just have so much prospect hype behind them that they're able to justify a B tier. Next up in C tier, we have Mason Foolhardy, Jason Dominguez, we have Cole Young, we have Christian Moore, we have Luis Angel Acuna, we have Nacho Alvarez Jr., we have Brady House, and we have Dalton Rushing. These are guys that I could see them being just like everyday caliber players. D tier, we have either guys who haven't lived up to the hype, who were highly rated prospects in their first season. That's going to be like a Jack Caglione type player, or guys that have just not been very good. And that's basically all of these other guys. And then in the F tier alone, we have Jordan Walker, just because he has been so bad in his MLB career, unfortunately. But that is all I got for you right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed listening. I had a great time talking to you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those things, and I'm out. Peace.